Painful periods? Spain just passed Europe's first paid menstrual leave law. Whoa, hang on a second. We've all seen the adverts. I've seen yous doing archery, rock climbing, doing yoga on the beach, sprinting up the stairs and defeating the puny men in your wake. What do you mean, menstrual leave? The law gives the right to a 3-day menstrual leave of absence, with the possibility of extending it to 5 days, and the public social security system will foot the bill. What? I've seen you doing kung fu on the back of a horse, and you want 5 days off, paid by me, do you? You best get yourself back to work, you lazy bint. Right, joking aside, there is a few interesting things to note with this, because as usual, whenever the lefty arseholes are in charge, they sneak a load of other dodgy shit under the table whenever they pass something. You know that's how it works. It never does exactly what it says on the tin. They give it a reasonable sounding name that most people will get behind, and then they backdoor a load of dodgy shit in there. And as usual, they've done it with this. Obviously, I will talk further about the primary point, but let's just focus on some of the other things, shall we? The bill approved by Parliament on Thursday is part of a broader package on sexual and reproductive rights. Well, blow me down with a feather. I didn't see that coming. Please, tell me more about this broader package on sexual and reproductive rights. It includes allowing anybody 16 and over to get an abortion. Yep, so again, the slippery slope argument's been proven true, hasn't it? They were saying if we make it this easy, people are just going to start using it for birth control, and now look at us. Any 16-year-old will just be able to march in there, boot the door off its hinges and say, "Ow, doc, vacuum me piss flaps." How's about that? It reminds me of Mr. Garrison. Do you remember when he got a sex change? It was like, "All right, doctor, hoover me gusset. Yeah, there's a good lad. Scramble its brains, chop it to bits and suck it out. Happy days. And then I'm going to go off and get backscuttled by a few sailors out the back of a nightclub tonight. Winner." And by the way, I've never been anti-abortion. I've made my position clear, and I think it's the majority view in the United Kingdom and probably all across Europe. It should be a difficult decision. It should be a heartbreaking decision. It should be something with the gravitas it deserves when you're talking about human lives, or at least the potential for a human life. In France and in Germany, they do make it so you have to get mandatory counselling, and there's a cut-off date, because that's civilised and reasonable. We're not saying ban it altogether, but at least give some thought to the matter. These woke, commie madmen will not be happy until crushing babies' skulls is part of the national curriculum. They want every woman in the world to be routinely vacuum packing the fallopian tubes. It's shocking. And the mask is off. All those old stuffy conservatives that I used to laugh at, they've been proved right, because they've lost the plot at this point. I'm just glad that I'm middle-aged and I don't need to go dating anymore. Can you imagine? If I met a bird on a modern app, I'd assume that she'd had more abortions than I've had hot dinners. I would assume that she was just cavorting with every Tom, Dick and Harry 7 days a week. I'd only go near a young girl's minge that I met on a dating app if I wore 3 Johnnies. I'd stick 2 on, and then I'd just stretch one and snap it over my ball sack, and probably duct tape the whole thing in place. I'd only shag you if I could line your insides with a bin liner. It also allows anyone over the age of 16 to freely change the gender on their ID card. Again, the slippery slope argument has been proven true. So you can freely change your gender on your ID card. And if it's on your official government ID card, then it's definitely a thing, isn't it? So if you're in a rape crisis centre, or you're a 15-year-old girl who's just getting over the nightmares from that time you got fingered by your uncle, guess what? You're going to finally muster up the courage to go to the local swimming baths. And then just as you kick your flip-flops off, you're going to come face to face with a one-eyed trouser snake. Winner. Equality Minister Irene Montero, an outspoken feminist in the left-wing government, hailed a historic day of progress for feminist rights. You bit off more than you can chew, Irene. You've bit off more than you can chew, love. Because like most extremist, leftist, communist feminists, you didn't think this through. And I really, really hope that when Tyrone armbars you into the cubicles, the women's restrooms in your local nightclub, and donkeys one into you, I hope you remember that you at least played a small part in that situation occurring. Ya son ley directas al boe. That translates as, this is the hand I used to wank off 20 sailors on Saturday night. Conquistas feministas. A lightning rod for feminists. The days of women going to work in pain are over. There's still pain though, isn't there? A pain in my fucking arse. You can't have it both ways. Either constantly gob off about how tough and strong and nails you are, and all the blokes are pussies and all the women are strong and tough and independent and invincible, and do some work, or take 3 months off a year, paid, in full, because blokes like me are chiselling johnnies off sewer walls, carrying bricks, and going up and down a ladder, carrying a hod, in the rain, you lazy fucking bint. Italy flirted with the idea in 2016, but the proposal failed. Italians flirting? And then being unreliable? Surely not. Italians don't do that, do they? Some socialists have voiced concern a menstrual leave could backfire against women by discouraging employers from hiring them. Turns out there are some sensible socialists who actually look 2 minutes down the road and actually think about where their inane, ludicrous, infantile, ridiculous policies will lead them. Anyway, there's the story. Enjoy that. You can have it for now, you twats. Thanks for listening. Let me know, as always, what you think in the comments, and I'm sure I'll get a good chuckle out of many of them. See you all very soon. Cheers.